Hola clase. Today we're going to learn about the present progressive. But what do you need for this presentation? Or, babe, it's recording. See, it wasn't recording. Okay. Babe, I'm confused because
Did you stop it?
see, I knew I wasn't in QuickTime.
Yeah, you don't do it on the PowerPoint.
I know that's what I did. Hello, class. Hello, class. Today we're going to be learning about the present progressive. What is the present progressive, you may ask? Or what is a present participle? What is a gerund or a gerundo? What is this? At the end of this session, you're going to have the answers to all those questions. But first, let's start with los materiales. Make sure that in front of you, you have un lápiz, tu manila folder, and your unit packet as well. The present progressive. We use this to talk about actions that are taking place as you speak. For example, let's take a look at this picture. This girl is, I could use a sentence of imagine if it's you. I could say you are reading, or you are listening. You are doing your homework as you are now, and I am talking. So let's look at those English sentences again. What we said is you are reading. We are using a form of the verb to be in English and the gerundo. The other sentence was you are listening. You are doing your homework, and I am talking. As you could see, these four sentences all use the verb to be and a verb ending in ing, which is a gerund. Now let's take this to Spanish. The Spanish present progressive formation is very similar to that of English. Let's think about this. We use the verb estar plus the present participle. Verb means to be, and the present participle would be the gerund, so just like in English. So we need estar and the present participle. It's like putting two pieces together. In order to construct the present progressive, you need both a form of estar and the present participle. But let's break this apart and first start with an example and what this looks like in English. Carolina baila con Raúl. Carolina dances with Raúl. That's just a basic present tense sentence. Now, using the present progressive, Carolina está bailando con Raúl. Carolina is dancing with Raúl. This is what's currently happening. So, let's start with the formation of present participle. How do you form it from an infinitive verb? Well, that would be the second part of the puzzle, the present participle. So here it is. For an AR ending verb, there are two steps to it. You're going to drop the AR, add ANDO, ando, which is your gerund, to the stem. An example, if I were to use viajar, it would be viajando. Notice the ANDO at the end. Now for verbs that end in ER and IR, these verbs, you're going to drop that ending, the ER or IR, and you're going to add yendo, IENDO. An example, escoger would be escogiendo. So regular present participles, add ando, yendo, and simply dropping the AR, ER, or IR of the infinitive verb to the ER and IR. So let's practice with some of infinitive verbs. Here you have 8 on the sheet given to you. Please write only the present participle to all these AR and some IR verbs. Take a few moments to do that. Now remember I told you about the IR verbs? IR verbs, we always have to look out for these. These are the neighbors that you don't want to have living next to you. Well, with the present participles, we also have irregular past participles. And all of these are IR ending verbs. So any IR ending verb that is found in your Manila folder that change from E to I, E to IE, or O to U to form it for a present participle would only change E to I and O to U. So here you have a few verbs. Can you practice and write the present participle to these 8 irregular verbs? I'm going to help you out with one. Let's take number 11. Servir. Servir changes E to I. So the stem would be SIR, V, and then you would add the ending, which would be IENDO. So your present participle would be sirviendo. Now note, for instance, number 12, preferir. Preferir is a verb that changes E to IE, but not when you want to make it to a present participle. That verb, that second E, is only going to change to E to I. So please complete the other 7 and write the present participle to the part 1 of the handout given to you. Now the Spanish present progressive formation, as I said, this has 2 parts to it, 2 puzzle pieces. You need the form of estar plus the present participle. So we will need to conjugate the verb estar to agree with the subject. Ask who is the subject, and that must agree with that. And then you need the present participle. So this is the first piece of the puzzle. An example would be tú estás aprendiendo el presente progresivo. You are learning the present progressive. You are the subject, so estar agrees with tú. That's you. Now turn to page 28 in your packet. And there you're going to see a list of 15 verbs that have been conjugated to the present tense. What I need you to do is I need you to write the present progressive to each of these verbs. I'm going to complete a few with you. For example, what we need to do is that line, you have to have a form of estar and the present participle. Remember, 2 pieces of the puzzle. So, if we look at number 2, the verb reads pedimos. Pedimos is conjugated in the first person plural. First person plural would be nosotros, so the form of estar should be estamos. Pidiendo. Pedir is an E to I verb, so you have to change that I. Your stem would be PID. Another example, número 7. Número 7 reads hago. Hago is conjugated in the first person singular. That would be the yo form. So estar should be in the yo form. And the answer is right. You are correct. It would be estoy. Estoy haciendo. Like right now, estoy haciendo mi tarea. Ching ching to you. Another example, número 14. 14 is cuentas. Now take a look at this verb. It's a stem changing verb. It changed from O to UE. However, the infinitive is contar. It's an AR ending verbo. So I ask you, is the O going to change? Right. It's not going to change because it's an AR ending verbo. It's the easygoing family, not those horrible IR ending neighbors. So your answer would be estás contando. So it's in the to form, second person singular. Now it's your turn. You're all on your own. Complete the rest of the page on your own and bring it to class Tuesday so that we can go over the answers. You will find out all the answers on Tuesday. Please complete page 28. To continue with the present progressive, I'd like you to rewrite these sentences using the present progressive. You have been given space on the handout given to you in class Friday where you're going to write that down. It's on part 2. So this is a regular present tense. El chico viaja por avión. What would be the present progressive? Please make sure to write down all the answer. All the sentence. Yo estudio español. Teresa ve el horario. Fernando, ¿comes pescado? El piloto conduce el avión. Yo escribo las respuestas. Buena suerte. Good luck. Now, ojo. Ojo means look out. There are some verbos that end in AER, like traer, or that have double E in the infinitive, like leer. And then UIR verbos, like huir. In the present participle, these verbos, the I, note how it's an ER and IR ending verbo. So the I becomes a Y. So the ending to these verbs are going to be yendo, Y-E-N-D-O. And I have some examples for you. The same rule applies to ir. Ir would simply be yendo. Yendo would be going. And oír would be oyendo. So it would just add an O to that gerundo. Here you have some examples. Caer would be cayendo, traer trayendo, leer leyendo, construir construyendo, and so on and so forth. Ir, yendo, oír, yendo. Oyendo. So now, turn to page 29 in your packet. And you have your manila folder to the side. At the bottom section, where it says irregular present participles, you see 4 boxes. And there you have the changes. There are 3 verbs that change E to I, E, that are IR ending verbos, found in your manila folder. What I would like you to do is I want you to write the past participle in that box. Then, there are 10 verbs that change from E to I. So go ahead and write those past participles to the verbos. Then you only have 2 verbs that change from O to U for the past participle. Add those verbs. And then you have 4 verbs that end in UIR. Those are your Y verbs that are here that will have a Y instead of the I. Can you please add that in as well? Also, please bring this finished to class Tuesday so that we can go over it and you will find all the answers. And this will conclude the end of our video. Nos vemos en clase.